our next bout is a pro MMA bout. It's in the bantamweight division at 135 pounds. It's 1-0 Miles Mauler Williams taking on Tyler Sexy Legs Hunley at 2-0. To introduce our fighters, back to the cage and Cody Gwynn.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for your featured bout of the night, brought to you by Anthem Athletics, and it will be in the Valor Professional Bantamweight division. At this time, please welcome, fighting out of the Hogs red corner, Miles Williams.
Miles Williams, first out, 1-0 out of Team Mannon in Roanoke, Virginia. Tell us, Casey, a little bit about Miles.
Man, you know, we saw him with the big win against Michael Enos back at Valor Fights 23. He did that with submission by Kimura, and that was in the third round. It was a war. It was a really tough fight. And, you know, this kid can fight. You know, he fights out of Team Mannon, under Tim Mannon, who is a reputable black belt up there in Virginia. And, you know, we saw him for the first time at Valor Fights, you know, at Valor Fights number 23. Now he faces one of the Valor Fights originals in Tyler Sexy Legs Hunley. This guy is a character. He is a tremendous fighter, well-rounded. He comes to kick, punch, grapple, anything you name it. I think this contrast of styles is going to match up very well for the fans.
And the last time we saw Tyler Hunley was right here at the International in Knoxville, and he defeated Ginseng Du Jour back in December at Valor Fights 22 in April.
And that was a crazy fight.
It was.
Just the fact that the dude's name's Ginseng.
Which you enjoyed.
That started it all. But yes, it was the guy was, you know, Ginseng Du Jour is a very wily veteran. He's a crazy, explosive athlete. You know, Tyler Hunley handled him extremely well. He shut down a lot of the crazy athleticism that Ginseng brought out there, and I'm sure he's going to be looking to do the same thing here tonight. Miles Williams just a little bit different, though, a little contrast of styles from what Hunley faced in his last outing.
Tyler Hunley 8-2 in his amateur career. Actually lost his last two, and then he's got wins over, mentioned Ginseng Du Jour last time out at Valor Fights 22, and then prior to that in his pro debut beat Brandon Grimet at Valor Fights 18 by submission. And Miles Williams, good amateur record as well, was 4-2 in his amateur career before turning pro, and had the win over Michael Enos at Casey you mentioned earlier. So an interesting bout. Also Miles Williams, a lot of times he does it in style because he has 6 of the night awards at Valor Fights in the past.
Yeah, and that's it, man. Tyler Hunley is such a class act.
All right, Miles Williams is in the cage to introduce his opponent. Back to the cage and Cody Gwynn.
Now please welcome to the cage, fighting into the OEB blue corner, Tyler Hunley.
Tyler Sexy Legs Hunley, 2-0 in his MMA career as a professional. Fights out of King's MMA and Muay Thai in Knoxville, the 23-year-old at 5'9", coming out to some Beastie Boys.
Man, so you hear that crowd going nuts. They're going crazy for this kid, and they always do. Tyler Hunley is a huge fan favorite, and partly because of his style, partly just because of who he is. He's a great guy, and everybody that knows him, you know, likes him. I've never heard anybody say anything bad about him on a personal level.
Yeah, and let's take a look at the tail of the tape between Tyler Hunley and Miles Williams. Tyler Hunley, that extra professional bout. Hunley also 4 years younger than Miles Williams, 2 inches taller, and then the weight is virtually the same.
Now, if you'll notice on the legs, I mentioned this before, I interviewed Miles Williams after his last fight here, and if you'll notice on that pant leg there, you'll see a big, it looks like a Thundercats logo there on his leg. Now, that's Renzo Gracie. Okay, and of course Team Mannon is part of the Renzo Gracie affiliation, but man, they have some real deal Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and this kid showed it again, finishing his last fight with a Kimura lock, and again is not an easy finish to obtain, especially for a smaller guy. So look for this guy to really implement that ground game. Now Hunley, a very seasoned grappler in his own right, but he's going to have to watch out for this specialty in Miles the Mauler Williams.
So with two very well-rounded fighters, how do you expect this to play out in terms of strategy from both?
Well, I think that perhaps Hunley's a little bit more explosive, but the other thing is cardio is going to have to come into play.
All right. Tyler Hunley is in the cage. Go back to the cage. And Cody Gwynn.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your professional feature bout of the evening. It will be in the Valor Professional Bantamweight Division, brought to you by Anthem Athletics. When the action begins, your referee in charge of this bout is Josh Ward. Introducing first, fighting out of the Hogs red corner. He enters the cage tonight undefeated with 1 win and no defeats. He weighed in 134 pounds, fighting a team Bannon in Roanoke, Virginia, Miles the Mauler Williams. Standing across the cage tonight, fighting out of the OEB blue corner, also undefeated with a record of 2 wins with no defeats. He weighed in 135 pounds, fighting out of King's MMA in Knoxville, Tennessee, Tyler Sexy Legs Hunley.
Josh Ward, your referee for this bantamweight bout at 135 pounds. It's Miles the Mauler Williams in the white trunks, red tape on the gloves, taking on Tyler Sexy Legs Hunley in the white trunks with the black and red trim and the blue tape on those gloves. 3 5-minute rounds, and we're underway. They touch the gloves. Round number 1 is underway. Gave us a couple rights.
These guys are lightning quick, both of them.
Showing that off here early. Big overhand right, just missed the chin of Hunley. Hunley showing the jab.
Hunley utilizing that right leg kick that he's known for. Wow.
That's uppercut response.
Oh, nice 1-2 combo there by Tyler Hunley. And follows up with the left inside leg kick.
Both guys willing to throw the jab here and working on their boxing, their stand-up.
Now you're starting to see whoa, that was a big shot. Stiff jab on the part of Miles the Mauler Williams.
Almost looked like it was to the chest, but it knocked Hunley down regardless.
Yeah. But Hunley right back up.
Minute 15 gone by in round number 1. Only to your right.
These guys are moving so much, it's hard for me not to hold my breath just watching. It's very entertaining to see guys this small and at this level compete, because there's so much that can happen. That was a knee that appeared to graze by the chin there of Miles Williams.
235-pounders. Missed on the overhand right. And they separate and back to the stand-up.
Now, one thing that you can see start to play out is obviously Tyler Hunley loves the outside and inside leg kick. And Miles Williams, it's that right overhand. You see it coming from all different angles. You see him from the inside with a short overhand. You see him extend with it and actually step into southpaw for a short minute to complete it. So he really likes that. That's something that Hunley needs to look out for, as he slips it over the top of Hunley's jab yet again.
And with Miles, that chin is forward a little bit. We saw Hunley throw an uppercut. Maybe we'll see a little bit more of that, you think?
Yeah.
But both guys keeping their hands up pretty fundamental.
And keeping their chins in tucked. You know, these guys are professionals, and they're carrying themselves out as such. Beautiful catch there.
Wow.
And down. This could be a game changer in the fight.
See what Hunley does with it. We'll let him get up, and he does. Past the halfway point, round number 1, 135-pound bout.
There we go. Hunley starting to really turn those hips into those kicks.
He's quick, too. Missed on the front kick, did Williams.
See a little discoloration under the right eye of Miles Williams. That is from the repetitive jab of Tyler Hunley.
Hunley connected on the chin of Williams there on the exit. Stuck that jab again.
One thing I'd like to see from Miles Williams again is that left hook to the body. He had success a couple of times there, and he was able to come over to the top and be successful with the overhand then. He's really winging that overhand a lot, and I think Tyler Hunley's began to time it.
Hunley looks slick with his boxing game right now. Big overhand right.
Again, you know, he's just going, to me, in my opinion, he's going to the well too often.
Nice right connected that time by Williams. As we're under a minute left to go in round number 1. Oh.
You know, if Williams is able to maybe throw a kick, throw something with that left, even if it's nothing substantial, if it's something to draw the attention away from that overhand, it's going to give him a better opportunity to land it. And again, like I said, Hunley's able to dip it pretty easily, pretty handily at this point. And that seems to be Miles Williams' money. Oh, wow. That was an overhand that almost turned into an over elbow over the top.
10 seconds left in round number 1. Most exclusively.
Again, he's got to watch, okay, because if Hunley brings that right kick high, because what's happening is Miles Williams coming over the top of the right, he's slipping out to the left. If Hunley brings that right leg high, he can catch it flush in the cheek.
Some blood coming from the nose of Tyler Sexy Legs Hunley. Who would you give that first round to, Casey?
I'm giving it to Hunley. I thought that Miles Williams had some success early in the fight, early in the round, with that overhand, and then he just went to the well one too many times, and Hunley began to time it. Secondly, Hunley caught that kick. He was able to drive Miles Williams to the mat momentarily. I think that's really the only portion of the fight that really stands out, and therefore, it would sway my decision towards Hunley.
Take us through this replay, Casey.
Okay, here he is. Moving forward, Hunley really sticking that jab. Miles Williams doing what he does with that overhand, and look at that. He zaps Hunley momentarily, but back up to the feet.
So you see Tyler Hunley there, Sexy Legs, likely with that first round win. On to the judges, up to the judges to decide that. And we're ready for round number 2. Some extra blood, I believe, being wiped up by one of the corner members. And our referee, Josh Ward, says, let's go. They touch gloves, and we're underway in round number 2.
Now, very interesting to see how both competitors will change things up moving into the second round here.
Williams with a red tape on the gloves. Hunley with a blue tape.
Well, you see, Hunley's operating practically like a matador here. You see what I mean? He's, Miles Williams pushing forward, and Hunley's just from side to side, great head movement, and of course that catch right there, very slick.
It's the second time Hunley's been able to do that and thrown down Williams because of it.
Again, the jab of Miles Williams is practically non-existent, and he chooses the overhand right almost every time, and it makes his game very predictable at this point. And like I was mentioning at the closing moments of round 1, he tends to throw that overhand right and, of course, lean to the left as you're supposed to do, but over time, it's going to set up, allow Tyler Hunley to set up his strategy, possibly bring that right leg up high to the head, and it could be devastating.
Believe still some blood coming from the nose of Tyler Hunley. Nothing too bad. Nice kick there by Williams. Kick to the body and then let the right hand go, did Hunley. The only jabs it looks like that are coming from Williams are to the body, not to the head.
right? And that's fine, you know, as long as he does something to draw the attention off of that overhand right, because, you know, as a commentator and as a coach even, you know, I'm looking at that. That was a beautiful combination there by Miles Williams, left hook overhand. That was placed well. One thing I'm noticing here is that Williams is not necessarily pushing so hard. When he was pushing at the start of this round, Hunley was doing a great job of countering. At this point, Miles Williams is content to stand and face off, and he's having a little bit more success here.
Hunley's done a pretty good job, don't you think, of eluding any big shots? I mean, the overhand right hasn't connected. Is that
Absolutely.
part going back to the predictability?
Absolutely.
Oh, nice combination by Hunley. Hunley really mixing his game up. Some kicks, combinations, the jab. Looks very comfortable in there.
So if I'm Miles Williams, I may be looking to get a hold of, try to close the distance and may possibly get a takedown here, because at this point, I think he's being outpointed, and it's going to be hard for him to make a comeback. We're, you know, less than 2 minutes left in this first round. Or I'm sorry, in the second round. If I'm in the corner of Williams, I'm looking for him to find that takedown, look for the clinch, and try to take it to the mat.
Interesting, after Williams was knocked down, you saw Hunley aggressively going after it. I think he would have been okay to try to jump on Williams at that point, even though he's having great success standing up. And that's a head kick.
Yes.
We haven't seen too many of those from Williams.
But floating. It was a floater. It wasn't, you know, thrown with a ton of ill intent.
Minute left in round number 2. Controlled by Hunley so far in this bout. Jab to the body by Williams. Missed on the overhand right again. Only able to stay out of harm's way. Front kick by Williams.
Nice right hand on the part of Tyler Hunley. Again, really controlling the range well here. Miles Williams is going to have to come up with something in order to answer the riddle of Tyler Hunley at this point, because he is really coming on strong at this point late in round 2.
That last jab snapped the head back of Williams. That's been so effective for Hunley. Nice combination by Hunley again. Not devastating.
Oh, that was a
blows.
big left head kick there by Tyler Hunley. And another.
And the face, just from the totality of shots of Miles Williams, starting to get red and show some of the damage underneath the eyes and the chins of both. So on the cheeks, excuse me. So clearly Tyler Hunley those first 2
Absolutely, absolutely, in my opinion. Again, if I'm in the corner of Miles Williams, you know, let's find a way to possibly close the distance and get this thing down. I don't know. I mean, Tyler Hunley has tremendous grappling in his own right. You know, at this point, it's going to be hard. You know, I was saying it in round 2. Williams, if he were to have been able to gain the takedown and get the top position, you know, he could score there, and that could put it 1-1. At this point, if I'm in Miles Williams' corner, I'm saying give it everything you got. Let's finish this. Let's put this guy away, because Tyler Hunley, he's on tonight.
2 rounds in the books, 3 5-minute rounds in this bantamweight bout at 135 pounds. Tyler Hunley bouncing his step in the blue corner. Tyler Hunley and Miles Williams, round number 3, third and final round. Josh Ward says, let's go, and we're underway in this 3rd round. So Williams try to shoot, try to get Hunley to the ground to change the tone of this fight?
Man, I don't know if I would shoot. And like I said, you know, that was the getting into the ground was a strategic point for round 2 that I was suggesting. At this point, you know, it may serve Miles Williams best to get in there and mix it up. And, you know, if you get knocked out, you get knocked out. A loss is a loss, you know. And, you know, but if if you're going to sit outside all day and you're getting picked to death, you're going to lose the fight. And that was a big right hand. He's down. Miles Williams is down.
And Josh
That
Ward
is it. Wow, what a big shot by Tyler Hunley.
You get knocked out, you get knocked out. You said it a second ago.
I mean, I'll tell you, man, it's he did what he had to do. He came to fight, and fight he did, and Tyler Hunley with a beautiful finish there. What a competitor. What a class act.
Tyler Hunley is taking a look at the replay here. Williams.
Oh, big right hand. It was 2 right hands. The last one, that was sick, man.
And what set it up is he tried the overhand right. He held up, and that opened up his chin.
There it went.
And that was a problem you talked about the whole fight, is not being able to connect, too predictable with those overhand rights.
Exactly.
And
you need to set it up. He has a great overhand right. He landed it a few times and appeared to have rocked Tyler Hunley with those. But man, you go to the well one too many times and it's going to cost you. And in this situation, it did.
And Casey, don't you think maybe because he had confidence in that overhand right, that if I can just connect, I can knock him out with that overhand right?
Sure, and it's 100% feasible, but you've got to set it up. Like I said, go into the body. I mentioned before, he threw a beautiful left hook to the body. I saw it one time, and he followed it up with the overhand. He landed the overhand. You've got to use a lot of combinations. Don't throw your ace in the hole right out there so everybody can see. But that being said, I'm sitting here behind a commentary booth, and they're in there doing it. Those guys are tremendously fast. Both of them are very, very awesome athletes.
All right, let's go back to the cage for our official decision. Here's Cody Gwynn.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Josh Ward has called a stop to this fight. 49 seconds into the 3rd round. Your winner by knockout, Tyler Sexy Legs Hunley.
Tyler Sexy Legs Hunley goes to 3-0 as a professional in MMA, and a win for Kings MMA. Boy, Knoxville has had a tremendous night here tonight at the International in Knoxville. Great crowd supporting Tyler Hunley here in this to see him pick up victory number 3 in his career. More great things on the way for Tyler Hunley. We'll post some for pictures, and we'll Cody Gwynn.
Tyler Hunley, let's talk to you real quick.
Standing by with Tyler Hunley.
Oh, I love Tyler Hunley interviews. First 2 rounds, very technical, very back and forth. Let's talk about their first 2 rounds. Did you feel like you were winning the fight? How did you feel about those first 2 rounds?
After the first round getting dropped, I wasn't sure how the judges would see that. So I tried to pick it up going into the 2nd and 3rd round. 2nd round was still kind of even. He took every shot I threw at him. Then 3rd round, I just got lucky, really.
It did look like luck, looked like a very clean shot. What was the game plan to come in here and go, throw hands with him? I know he's got a good ground game. You showed your good ground game. Was the game plan to keep it on his feet?
The game was to keep it on his feet. We thought he would turn into a brawl, so we tried to keep it real technical in and out, and ended up working. So coaches know best.
As 3 pro wins in a row, undefeated as a pro. What's next for Sexy Legs?
I want to take the holidays out to be with my family. Everyone start back hard at the beginning of the year. Let my coaches decide on that.
Anybody you want to thank?
I want to thank Todd and Tactical Medical for all the help over the years. I want to thank everybody from KMA for letting me cross-train with them. From Fit Factory, Dylan D'Angelo from Foot Clan with Shane Hill. And I want to thank Josh Carter, even though he's a punk.
Tyler Hunley, ladies and gentlemen.